Okay, so back to Iago and Othello. Um, I think that um, I think one thing worth thinking about here um, is what Iago is doing is bringing up bad ideas. And once someone brings up a bad idea, it's hard to get out of your head. Like if you're going in for surgery and it's just like a minor surgery, he's getting like wrist surgery or something, and somebody says to you, "Oh, and you're, oh, I'm so worried about it," and somebody says, "Oh, I'm sure you'll be fine. You're probably not going to be like my friend who had minor surgery and died." They would be upset with you. They'd be like, "I can't believe you just told me that. Like somebody died," and you'd be like, "No, no, no. I was saying it's not going to be like that." But it doesn't matter. They brought it up, even with the word "not" in front of it. They brought up the subject of it, and you can't get it out of your head. It's like if I tell you, "Don't think of zebras." See how you're thinking of a zebra? Um, it's putting the "not" in front of it doesn't help. So Iago being like, "Oh, she's probably not cheating on you," is not really helping. It's ironic, by the way, that saying it's probably not happening makes you think that it is. It's a form of irony. Okay, let's take a look at this some more. So Othello's pretty upset by this. Um, just I have to tell you this. Should you do so, my lord, my speech, like if you take this too seriously, my speech should fall into such vile success as my thoughts aim not at. Cassio is my worthy friend. My lord, I see you're moved. No, not much moved. I think he is moved. He's very upset, but he's saying he's not. That's irony. I do not think but Desdemona's honest. And Iago says, long live she so, and long live you to think so. Do you see it again? Because Othello says, I think that she's honest. And he says, good for you. I hope you continue to think she's honest. Do you see how that's different than saying, I hope she's honest? He just says, oh, good. I'm so glad you think she's honest. I really hope you continue to think that. Very different from saying, I bet she is honest. He just says, wouldn't it be nice if you keep thinking of her as honest? It doesn't have anything to do with her honesty. It has everything to do with your brain and nothing to do with the other person's honesty. And so he's really being sneaky here. And this is the point at which he gets him. Because Iago's next line, Othello's next line, um, long live she so, and long live you to think so, right? And yet, how nature erring from itself, there's the point. And that's it. Iago has him. Nature erring from itself means that it's this idea that there's a natural order to things. And that if Desdemona is young and white, she should naturally be with someone else who's young and white. Um, Notice, by the way, and sorry, so that's what he's saying there is that he says, yeah, but the fact that she chose me, an old black guy, um, and not a young, which nature has erred from itself. He says it is unusual for someone to choose someone so different from themselves, and that's when Iago pounces in with, there's the point, because now he's got Othello doing the thinking for him. Iago has successfully put the idea in his head. Please note, the first thing Othello thinks of when he thinks of why she might cheat on him is that he's black. Um, this brings up a very complicated issue with Othello, which is that it's bad enough to be a person living in a racist society. And if you're living in a society where people think less of you because of the color of your skin, and in Othello's case, because he used to be Muslim, if you live in a society like that, it's very bad, obviously, to live in a society that's racist. But it's even worse when that racism gets in your head so you think you're not as valuable. It's bad enough for other people to think because of the color of your skin you're not good. But it's really bad when it sinks into your own brain so you start thinking of yourself as not as good because of the color of your skin or your religion or whatever. That's what Othello is doing. Because he says, boy, it is strange that she chose me, an older black guy, rather than a young, sexy white dude. And so the racism is in Othello's own head. And this is why I say that I don't think Iago is racist. What he does is he uses other people's racism to his own end. Iago can't be racist because he can't believe in being racist would mean Iago would have to believe in something. And the whole thing about Iago, he doesn't believe in anything. I am not what I am. When I do not love thee, chaos has come again. He has no to be a racist, you have to have a stable thought. And Iago doesn't have a stable thought. He has tricks and sneaky shit. So he's got him now. Iago's got him. He says, And he pushes him. He's, that's the point, as to be bold with you, not to affect many proposed matches of our own clime, complexion, and degree, whereto we see in all things nature tends, right? She rejected a lot of young white dudes for you, and that's strange, generally speaking. You see how, once again, he never says anything about Desdemona specifically, just about people in general usually end up with people that look like them. So, isn't it strange? And he pounces on this. He says, one may smell in such a will most rank, foul disproportion, thoughts unnatural. Right? So he says, listen, the fact that this young white girl ran away with you, an old black guy, suggests, and by the way, I say old, Othello's probably about 50 and Desdemona's like 14, which is uncomfortable, but this is, the 1600s. So he's much older than Othello's not what we would call old, but compared to her, he's much older. He says, Iago says, doesn't it show a person the fact that she wants to be with you and not like somebody her own age and race? She has unnatural thoughts. That's unnatural. What other unnatural thoughts does she have? And he's using this idea of naturalness, which is not even true. It's just something Iago made up, that white people naturally be with white people. It's not nature, that's society. But he calls it nature to make it seem like a bigger idea, and to make it seem more true. He says, but pardon me, I do not in disposition distinctly speak of her, I'm just talking people in general, though I may fear her will, recoiling to better judgment, may fall to match you with her country forms and happily repent. Meaning, right, she's going to think about you compared to all the guys she could have had, and she's going to feel bad. And this hits Othello hard. He says, farewell, farewell. If thou dost more perceive, let me know more. Set on thy wife to observe. Leave me, Iago. Notice this idea. Why does Othello believe him? Well, one reason Othello believes him is because Iago, he's saying what's already in Othello's head. You don't think Othello ever was like, man, you ever meet somebody and fall in love and you're like, man, how did I get, and somebody goes for you, like you like somebody and they like you back? Sometimes you might think, man, I feel like I don't even deserve this. Like, this person's so perfect. And I think Othello got this perfect person. And Desdemona's absurdly perfect. And she's so perfect, he feels like he doesn't deserve her inside. So Iago uses that thought to be like, you don't deserve her. You probably don't even really have her. She's probably going to be with somebody else as soon as she can. And so that's how Iago gets him, is that Othello already feels unworthy of her. And by the way, Othello is unworthy of her because he's going to destroy her and kill her. But Iago, the point is, Othello feels unworthy of her because of his race, which has nothing to do with it. But he's because she picked him, right? That's crazy. So he feels unworthy of her, and it's that thought that Iago is able to seize on and mess with. And then at the bottom of 17, Othello says, why did I marry? This honest creature doubtless sees and knows much more than he unfolds. Again, the irony of calling Iago honest. And Iago leaves, and then he immediately comes back and says, listen, please don't think about this too much. My lord, I would entreat your honor to scan this thing no farther. Leave it to time. Although it's fit that Cassio have his place, for sure he fills it up with great ability. Maybe even give Cassio his job back. But if you please to hold him off a while, you shall perceive him and his means. Meaning, like, right, Cassio probably deserves his job back, but don't give it to him. Let him beg for it. Watch how he treats Desdemona, and you may be able to see that they're having an affair. And again, they're not. And the whole reason Cassio is going to Desdemona to get his job back is because Iago told him to. So he manipulates this sort of to his own end. And I think this is pretty good. We've kind of gotten to the main crux of it. I want to kind of turn the page real quick to see how much more is coming. But I think that's basically the end of the scene. Oh yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, okay. yeah, that's it. So, guys, that was it. This series of videos took us through one of the most interesting parts in all of Shakespeare, which is how does Iago get Othello to believe that his wife is cheating on him? And by looking through this step by step, I hope you can see that at least one thing Shakespeare does, he is an expert psychologist. Shakespeare has such a strong grasp of psychology. He understands how people think so well that he's able to convince me that just in the space of like 2.5 pages, just in one conversation, I totally believe that Iago could get Othello to believe these things because Shakespeare is a master of psychology. And I will see you in the next video series.